Oh, heartbeat level, that's right. Had a good first day of the month today too. Much love, guys. Why is that camera? Camera's really struggling on this one. Are they... Oh, they're going to be... Wait, there's someone... Oh, don't be one of those cats. You know, those shrieking cats with the bandages and stuff and exploding and the weird face. Just die. Just die. Hey Joe, how you doing, buddy? We only just kicked off today, right? A bit behind schedule, but I'm streaming later. Played a little bit extra Spire. Wow. How many billion frames a second you reckon I'm running on this? Okay, there's like a doorway down there, but I had to reinstall Windows, so I feel for you on that. That sucks. Is that gonna... Oh. Okay, we tricked a ball to run past. I feel like dropping down there is gonna hurt too much. Oh, hang on. The lightning looks so traceable. I know, right? The bats are screeching now? No. Come on. Game, please. Save. No, not Panz minimap. Mip map. Panz. Save. There we go. Oh. I hear flapping. You guys hear the flapping? No, so the last level something happened and we jumped. Remember right at the end of the level we like ended up down a hole sliding. We went through the over the big cat pyramid or whatever it was, head, fake sphinx, and dropped down onto its tongue into a cave, and then like that was leading into this one. So I think this is under the most of the previous level, like way under. Now we're at the end of Natless Mines. No, I think, like I can see the resemblance to the Natless Mines level, but maybe the lore is that deep under here is similar to deep under Natless Mines. Because remember, like in Egypt was where you got the Scion stuff, and the Scion stuff was what was used in Natless Mine. Because there's those egg things in here as well, so there's definitely a connection in between the two. Two of them. Hopefully we can take this one down before the one above us gets lower. We have to ask a lore expert. I'm sure it just says it on the wiki somewhere. Google's expert enough for me. It's not too bad. I think I have to get up there. I hope not. Lara, get your guns out. If only they'd given us some sort of cutscene after the last one, then we might have been able to make sense of it all. The wiki says this level takes place before the other two? No. We definitely did the other two first. This is supposed to be the exit from the last level in the main game. The only reason I could see that would be... I mean, I could see someone thinking that because, like you said, it's got the texture pack from the Natla mines. Which, to be fair, could be any underground mining thing, right? Like, assuming there's rock in the ground and lava and stuff. But the beating heart... yeah... The beating heart can go. Well, no, I think that's what that does help it connect to this being an exit from the last game, which is interesting because what happens at the very end of the last level, like before the cutscene, like before she gets on the boat and watches the volcano explode, type of deal? Where do you exit from? The second chapter takes place before those of the first chapter. Well, which one's the second chapter? Because there's 4 levels in here. What is this one called? This one's called... Atlantean Stronghold. And the other one's called Return to Egypt. So she's definitely going back to Egypt. I don't know, I feel like... okay. I don't know, now I'm starting to think the person on the wiki might not know what they're talking about. Is that a bold accusation? I think that I think they put the levels in this order because the devs actually knew what they were thinking. And the person on the wiki is just making assumptions based on reasonable deductions and just happens to be wrong, maybe. I am by no means a Tomb Raider aficionado. So I can only sort of have from my observations and playing it, to me, like, especially with no cutscene to sort of base it off, just the fact that it's called Return to Egypt made me think that she got on the boat after Tomb Raider 1. The Nutler Lady and all her goons are dead, and the volcano exploded. And I'd say she took the boat back to Egypt. Because they're obviously, the boat's close enough to Egypt because they came from Egypt to come here, right? To come to the final level. Not here, the Natla Mines one. Was it the mine? Whoa, why did that... no, not the mines. Was it the mines? I can't even remember now. Anyway, so she comes back to Egypt, did what we did, which I can't even remember what we did last week. Did we loot something? Or oh, God. And then we went over the because what's the Natla's connection to the Atlanteans? They stopped her from trying to do that, making the super race or something. Yeah, that's right. Last week we killed a whole bunch of useless stuff. It kind of feels that, yeah, so just the way I feel it, I again, like I said, I am by no means any form of, I wouldn't even go subpar expert. Like I don't even make any claims to be expert. Okay, so Natla was one of the 3 Atlantean rulers, right? There was the place in Egypt that had the Scion bits, right? Which was where the Atlanteans were keeping them. Which I believe is up above us. Right? And it's almost as if Lara went, you know what, I'm going back there and I'm going to go treasure hunting for whatever reason. Right? So the Natla mines were another, whether they were just Natlas or they were another Atlantean place altogether, like, I don't know. But that's what it sort of feels like, that there's multiple Atlantean places. And that's why this one looks like the other one and has the heartbeat, because Natla was doing her stuff here as well. And so Miss Nosy Croft here has decided to come stick a nose around here. And she did the thing in Egypt and went over the pyramid and onto the tongue and then down into this cave, and now we're going to kill off these ones as well. Yeah, maybe. If I can find out where I'm supposed to be going. I can't even, like... I mean, granted, I'm not very good at looking around at these ones at the start, but I can't seem to even find anywhere remotely where I think we should be going. You reckon we have to go over the back that way? I mean, it seems like we need to get up there somehow, but can we... These 2 Atlantis levels were supposed to play before the Egypt levels. They made this as a direct sequel to the ending, since the same slide she goes down at the beginning of this level as she does in the last level of the main game. Okay. So that, I mean, that makes sense as well, because, but she does also, the previous 2 levels, when you finish that, you go over the top of a weird looking sphinx and onto its tongue, and then you get to the exit. So where are you leaving there? Like, just following it on the way you actually play it, it feels like you leave the second level, you know, through the tongue and enter a slide and are sliding down into this level. But the way you explain it also makes sense. and I suppose the only thing I have to go off is I'm actually playing what's playable, and I don't know what's like what information is fan fiction or fan established, deduced, if you know what I mean, and what's actually been sort of devs come out and said, no, we screwed up and we put the levels in the wrong order. I think I can get up from there. I didn't try to push or pull on this, but it doesn't look like anything you can push or pull on. No. So the devs came out and said we put these in the wrong order. Okay, fair enough then. So when you finish this is level 3, and then the next one's level 4, but in actual fact this is 1 and 2. When we finish the 4 that is after this one, which is 2, are we going to get a cutscene that should have gone after the level we previously just played, to sort of explain why is Lara leaving the on the cat's tongue? And where are we actually going? There's 2 of these which aren't helping. So then the end of the whole Tomb Raider 1 experience is Lara walking over out of a really bad level onto a extended tongue of a sphinx into a tunnel that goes to nowhere. I mean, 90s gaming, right? It's really a surprise with after an effort like that how they managed to turn this into a multi-decade franchise. I reckon it's over the top there. Oh, Panz. Why did you jump that way? So is there anywhere up here we think we can grab hold of? Is that a jumpable climb there? Let's keep a different save file so I don't have to climb back up to this one. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this expansion was released afterwards, wasn't it? Which is even more curious. Like, why do you go back to a... Excuse me? Are you right there, Mr... I'm going to trade bullets with you, dude. Have 2 save files because that thing's dead. the Scion triggered part of some destruction of the temple, but not at all. Lara finds out that there is still a whole hive of live mutants and takes them out. Wait, are the Scion in Tomb Raider 1 or the Scion in Tomb Raider 3? This Scion, right? No, we can't jump up there. Okay. That's way too high. I don't know if there's a Scion in Tomb Raider 3. Like, I can't. The bits of Tomb Raider I've played are 20 years ago and in bits and pieces because I didn't own any. It was only when I wrote to friends. Tomb Raider 3 has no Scion. Okay. Yeah, so my thoughts are that, and like I said, it's just from playing and thinking, is that this place that has other, whatever they're called, these, whatever race of things Natla was trying to turn everyone into or bring back to life or whatever, we're in more than one location. And this is another one of the locations, which is why it looks like the below Natla mines, because underground, the beating heart is from whatever the system is that's pumping blood to these things to try and bring them to life. Are we jumping onto something from... It's got to be something from here, right? Is that sliding me down? Yeah, that's too steep, right? Yeah, this like I've been in this room for long enough. Is there a hole? I don't know. Yep, there it is. Thanks, mate.